Hey everybody, welcome to The Point. As you know, I'm your host, Jeffrey Roden. On tonight's episode, I would like to address the lack of programming that's offered in our prison systems. Specifically, why are there not programs available in the maximum security? Now, where I'm located, our maximum security would be considered Fort Madison, Iowa, or ISP. So, the most important programming, to my opinion, would be education. Now, how the system works is whenever you start school, you have until January 1st of the following year to complete all 5 exams, or you must start all the way over. And each year, the tests progress a little harder. Now, we have individuals that haven't seen a pencil or a book in over 20, 30 years. If they were to want to get their education, some are starting from the basic 1 plus 1, 2 minus 1, 3 times 1. How do you expect an individual to complete all 5 exams in 1 year when a high school diploma from kindergarten to 12th grade is 13 years? Now, with supposedly lack of funding, they only have available one teacher that shows up maybe once or twice a week, if they're lucky. As a taxpayer, why isn't my money fund for more teachers? Why are you guys on the news saying we need more money for security, for officers, for safety? I don't want to spend money to institutionalize them. I want to spend money to rehabilitate them, make them feel normal. When you're doing life or even a longevity and all you see is bars and walls, the mental state is going to come to a point of where, am I living or am I existing? We want to look at the fact of these still are human individuals. They're human beings. Yes, they put themselves there. Yes, they recognize the choices that they made. But let's not institutionalize them and treat them like cavemen. Let's teach them how to be normal. Just because it's prison, there's a lot of good rather than negative that can come from this. They have the hospice program. Awesome. Teaching these men how to get certificates into healthcare of the elderly. Amazing bondmanship. They have the Habitat program. That's a good example. So the Habitat program, these gentlemen are making shelves, tables, chairs for people that have been through tragedies. Now, the individuals that are doing it, if they didn't do it in the streets, then they really just taught themselves on trial and error and became good and was able to work Habitat. Why are we not investing in a carpentry class to get these gentlemen certified? It may not mean anything to the average Joe, but for a man that is in that situation, your mind is going to reach a point to where either you're going to think, is this living or am I just existing? We need to give these gentlemen a purpose. They are still humans. Whether they get the chance of coming home or not. Coming home. In my last video, I spoke on the trials and tribulations of getting a job. In Fort Dodge, Iowa, which is our medium facility, they offer life skills, which taught me the traits of having a job interview. Why is that not allowed in the maximum security? I did 9 years in Fort Madison and never had any type of advice that insisted on a job interview. The programming outside of education there's none. So whether you're sitting on the yard speaking to one of the elders or an individual that has experience, where can you go to get the education? Let's not put ourselves in timeout and then when we get out, expect to know from right from wrong. Allow us to practice. Allow us to earn it. The dog program is an excellent example. Builds on character, builds on companionship, compassion, emotions. Some of the best dog trainers, they come from prison. In Iowa, out of Iowa, they exist. And they're great. Ever heard of the show Pit Bulls and Parolees? Great example. Why do they offer these programs in a Fort Dodge or a Rockwell, but not Fort Madison? They have what they call the tier system, the honor unit. Even if you didn't want to give it to all the inmates and made it to where they would have to earn it and, you know, make it an achievement thing, an incentive, as what they call it. If you're on tier 3, you can be a part of the dog program. It gives the inmate the incentive to stay report free, to conduct himself in a responsible manner, and then be able to improve his life with the program rather than isolation. Prison is not normal. I won't say that it's not necessary, even though I don't wish it on anybody. But I can stand here as a man and say, if I didn't go to prison, I wouldn't have woke up. I'm not saying that prison saved me, but it gave me a wake-up call. But it's not normal. Putting your child in timeout after the session is over, do you give an explanation of why they were in timeout? Or do you think just because they're done, they obviously know right from wrong? It's the same thing. And if you think, well, them are grown men, kids are in prison. Think about it. We don't need walls. We don't need bars. We don't need isolation. We don't need institutionalized. We need rehabilitation. As a taxpayer, I want my money to go to rehabilitation. Give them computers. Give them books. Give them a second classroom. Allow these men to grow. You will get more positive than negative, I promise you. If you think about the negative and where the negative happens, you're putting men whom have nothing to do. They're bored. That's where the trouble comes from. Give these men opportunity. They will surprise you. Not all these men are bad men. Just because you make a mistake doesn't make you a non-human being. Allow the mind to grow and see what you get. If anybody's dealing with this problem and they know officials that can handle it, please get in contact with me, because right now I'm a one-man army. I'm doing a lot of talking on these videos. With your help, I want to show you action. I want to change it. I want to fix it. Whether it's here in Iowa or it's in your state. It don't matter. Let's open these doors and fix the problem. The point.